Welcome to the Explainer. Today, we are diving deep into a concept that is absolutely crucial for anyone in the software world, acceptance criteria, or AC for short. Get this right, and you'll build amazing things. Get it wrong? Well, that's what we're here to prevent.
So here's our game plan. We're going to kick things off by talking about a super common problem. Then we'll define exactly what acceptance criteria are and why they are so darn powerful. We'll get into the nitty-gritty of how to write them like a total pro, clear up a classic point of confusion, and wrap up with the big mistakes you definitely want to avoid.
Okay, let me ask you something. Have you ever been in this situation? Your team just busted their tails, they delivered a feature that's technically perfect, totally bug-free, and then the stakeholder looks at it and says, yeah, that's not what I wanted. Ugh, it's the worst feeling, right? It's so frustrating and incredibly expensive. Well, that feeling has a name. It's called the wrong thing right problem. You've achieved flawless execution, but you've completely missed the mark on the actual goal. And you know what? It almost always boils down to one thing: ambiguity. The solution is getting everyone on the exact same page about what done really means. And that, my friends, is where acceptance criteria come in. So what are they really? Well, here's the textbook definition. Acceptance criteria are the clear, specific, and this is key, testable conditions that a piece of work has to meet to be considered finished. It's the official checklist that lets everybody, from the developer to the product owner, confidently say, yep, this is done, and it is exactly what we agreed on. I absolutely love this way of thinking about it. ACs are literally the bridge. On one side of the canyon, you have the intent, the business need, the why. On the other side, you have the implementation, the actual code the team is building. Without that bridge, you're just asking your team to take a wild guess and leap across. That's a recipe for disaster. Now, this is a huge point and a super common mistake. Acceptance criteria are not a to-do list for developers. They aren't things like code the blue button or connect to the API. No. Instead, they describe the outcome we want to see, the proof that the work has actually satisfied the original request. They are the conditions of satisfaction. So why is this so important? Why is mastering AMM a total game changer for a team? Because when you get them right, it's not just about writing stuff down. It fundamentally changes for the better how your team communicates, collaborates, and ultimately delivers value. And what's really cool here is how these 6 things create this amazing domino effect. It all starts by clarifying expectations. When you do that, you naturally reduce the ambiguity that causes all that painful rework. That new clarity makes the feature testable, so you can actually prove it works. AC also defines the boundaries, which is your best defense against scope creep. And all of this together, it strengthens collaboration and gets everyone aligned on what done truly means. All right, let's get into the good stuff, the how-to. Because knowing what ACRs are is one thing, but knowing how to write them well is a skill that really separates the pros from the amateurs. This is the gold standard we're talking about. And the best tool in your toolbox for quality is the INVEST model. Before you ever finalize your AC, you should run them through this simple checklist. Are they independent? Meaning, you can test this one thing without relying on a bunch of others. And the most important one, in my opinion, is testable. If you can't imagine a test that would clearly pass or fail for your criterion, guess what? It's not specific enough. Go back and rewrite it. Okay, so you've got your quality check down with INVEST, but what do they actually look like when you write them out? There are a few different ways to do it, but let's look at the 3 most common formats you'll see out in the wild. First up, we have the industry standard, and honestly, a favorite for a reason. It's the Gherkin, or behavior-driven development format. This given, when, then structure is so powerful because it tells a tiny little story. It sets the stage, describes an action, and then clearly defines the expected result. That clarity is pure gold for developers, testers, and product owners. Next up, you have the scenario-based format. This one is much more direct. It's basically a simple checklist that outlines a sequence of events. It's absolutely perfect for describing a user's journey, step by step, in a way that is just super simple and easy for anyone on the team to understand. And finally, there's the rule-based format. This is your go-to when you need to lay down the law on specific constraints, technical requirements, or business policies. When you need to be really precise about things like file types, password rules, or security standards, this format is clear, concise, and leaves no room for guessing. All right, let's tackle a big one: This next point is a huge source of confusion for so many people, and frankly, it's a classic interview trap. I'm talking about the difference between acceptance criteria and the definition of done. Getting this right shows you really know your stuff. Let's put them head to head. Here's the key. Acceptance criteria are unique and specific to one single backlog item. They focus on its functionality and answer the question, for this one feature, did we build the right thing? The definition of done, on the other hand, is a universal quality standard that applies to every single item your team works on. It focuses on overall quality and answers the question, is this work actually shippable?
So if you remember nothing else, remember this right here. AC asks, did we build the feature right, according to its own unique requirements? The DoD asks, is the work fully done according to our team's quality standards? Is it tested, documented, and ready to go? Two different questions, two different purposes.
Okay, knowing what to do is great, but you know what shows real next-level expertise? Knowing what not to do. So let's talk about some of the most common mistakes or anti-patterns that you absolutely need to avoid. Oh, these are painful, but so common. First, writing a C after the work is done. I mean, what's the point? That completely defeats the purpose. Next, describing tasks instead of outcomes. That just turns it into that developer to-do list we talked about. Being vague is a killer. The system should be fast means nothing because you can't test it. If they're written in a silo by just one person, you miss out on valuable perspectives. And the last one, changing AC in the middle of a sprint, that just torpedoes the team's focus. Avoid these like the plague. Whew, that was a lot, right? We've gone from the core problem to the nitty-gritty details. So how do we boil all of this down into one powerful, concise summary that you can take with you? Here it is, your rock-solid interview-ready answer. At their core, acceptance criteria are all about creating a shared understanding. They are the clear, testable conditions that turn a vague idea into a concrete definition of success for one specific feature. By using frameworks like INVEST and understanding that critical difference between AC and the definition of done, you turn a simple checklist into an incredibly powerful tool for alignment, quality, and building the right thing. So I'll leave you with this question to take back to your team. I want you to really think about it. Take a hard look at how you're using acceptance criteria today. Are they truly a safety net that guarantees quality and alignment? Or have they accidentally become just another to-do list that people tick off without thinking? And that's a wrap on our deep dive into acceptance criteria. I really hope this gives you the clarity and the tools to use them effectively with your team. Thanks so much for tuning in, and we'll see you in the next one.